everything you need to know about stomach fat. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Isabella Murray. I'm a fat loss expert as seen in various UK newspapers. Before we begin, I know that people are going to steal this content, especially wellness influencers, but whatever, it's going to happen. Even if I published a book, it was going to happen. So here we go. This is going to be like a 2-part Netflix series where I do one part with a bunch of episodes and a second part with another episode with a whole bunch of other episodes. So stay tuned. And I really think it's important you watch every single episode. Guarantee you will learn something that you did not know before. Now, originally this was going to be a book. I started the book, had a skeleton for the book, wrote the chapters for the book, wrote all the intro stuff for the book. But to have a book, you need to get an editor, have it all checked out, edits. You need to get an editor, there's going to be some changes to it. Then you need to figure out all these things, and by the time this book will come out, it will take probably another year and a half. So I think, let me just stop the misinformation now when it comes to stomach fat and just make this series. Get this info out today. So because this can be a YouTube series instead of a book, all of the stuff that's about like what inspired this book, the passion behind what I do, I'm going to put it in the description box below, and I would really appreciate it if you take the time to read it. So let's get started. On social media, it's very interesting for me to see what comments always comes up, not just on my pages, but other pages as well. And a lot of comments I see is, oh, I'm slim everywhere but my stomach. What do I do for my stubborn stomach fat? And it gets to the point where a lot of PTs, online coaches, by the way, you don't have to be qualified to be an online coach. That's scary. A lot of them say, oh, you know what, I work with thousands of women to get rid of the stubborn stomach fat. Again, we don't know if any of that's true. But they reply back to people in the comments and they say, oh, you just need a stronger calorie deficit, or you need to drop your calorie deficit even further, or stick to your calorie deficit even longer. Now, this actually has me worried, because if someone says, when someone says to me at least, that all the part of the body is quite slim and it's just the stomach where they have excess fat, I think to myself, this might be more of a different problem as opposed to stomach fat. And what's scary about immediately thinking, oh, it's because they're not doing a calorie deficit right, is that this person might think, oh, okay, they're telling me I'm not doing it right, let me lower my calorie deficit. Let me exercise more. Let me eat less. So what if these people go on unnecessary calorie deficit? It's scary, because this is the thing you need to consider. Sometimes it can mainly to do with gut health. Yes, you heard me right. It doesn't matter what your body fat percentage is. If you feel like you have some stubborn stomach fat, it could actually be a bloating issue, long-term bloating issue, as opposed to excess stomach fat. It could be a combination of both, don't get me wrong, but it could primarily be that. And that is a factor that people don't consider. If you're not fussed about gut health, just think about this. 70 to 80% of immune cells are in the gut. So by looking after your gut, you're looking after your whole body. So this is how the series is going to go. Part 1, and all the episodes in part 1, is going to do everything to do with gut health. Literally everything. Food allergies to food intolerances, tolerance tests, supplements, everything you need to know, literally everything. And part 2 will be everything to do with stomach fat, the science behind it, the best exercises, the best foods to do, and so forth. Menopause, post, everything. But I think it's so important that you watch every single episode, because by the end of the series, you will have the tools and the knowledge to make informed decisions about your health. If you're ready to cut through the noise, make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned for episode 1.